Hi Aquarius, what's going on? We're here with a timeless reading. Welcome. All right, I'm seeing the Tower, I'm seeing Page of Wands. Don't panic about the Tower being here because I'm also seeing Six of Swords, which means like moving past that, moving beyond that. It means things calming down. So just like context clues, this is feeling like you could be in the middle of a tower, but it's not something that's going to be like coming. This is like it would have already passed, you're like just passing it, or you're in the middle of it, so you would already know what this is, okay? This isn't like the tower is coming now. It would be here already, okay? So just so nobody gets worried. This looks like you are doing something, but there could have been like an unexpected thing happen upon the path. Could have even shifted your direction a little bit. But I'm also seeing things are going to be settling down. So whatever it was that had been feeling like an uproar or had been feeling chaotic or had been feeling like what's the next thing that's going to happen, things are going to settle down now, okay? So I'm seeing this be reassurance for you. Something just needed to be corrected, it seemed. So as much as it can be, you know, when you go through the Tower, it can feel kind of disconcerting. It can feel like things are happening all over the place and there's such a lack of stability, but it really is a correction. It can feel kind of intense though, sometimes somewhat unnecessary, but it's the thing that's really gonna push stuff where it's supposed to be. So it like gets things back on track, but can do so in a bit of an intense type of way. So I see things as being back on track here, or at least being very close to being back on track. It seems like this thing popping up could have made you focus on it. I wonder if you had other things that were going on and this may not have been the primary thing that you were tending to. Now it is. So it feels like it brought things up in a way where it was like, well, now you have to pay attention to me or balance me among the other things that you have going on. That's what it's looking like this was associated with. But I'm seeing you really find I'm hearing finding your standing through this. The way that I'm interpreting this to mean is that whatever it was that you needed to do to show up in this time that could have felt stressful, could have felt chaotic, could have felt like you didn't really know what was going on, could have even felt like things were happening beyond your control and you just sort of had to tend to it and deal with it like one step at a time. I'm seeing that you did what you needed to do through this. Like you made the right choices, you prioritized the right things. So I'm seeing this just be reassurance. I'm feeling an activation on the right side of the crown. This could have even been like you needed to choose something and you chose the right thing, but it can also be like you balance things in the right way or you prioritize the right stuff, like that sort of thing. Especially at a time when maybe you didn't know exactly what you were doing, is what this seems like. But you could have had to use like just, what is it called? Educated guesses to figure out what to do. That's kind of what this looks like. There can be some annoyance at the intensity of this, but what it looks like is that you're going to get equal parts peace now. Seeing Six of Swords and seeing Four of Swords means that you're moving forward. It means that there's a time of rest that's coming up, that you're going to get to relax. It means also peace of mind. So Tower can be like, I feel the opposite of peace of mind. Now what's going to be happening is peace of mind. This has to do with some track that you're on currently. Something that you're doing, something that you're pursuing, something that you're involved with that type of thing. Anything from projects to relationships to hobbies to home stuff, really whatever, anything that you have involvement in. Wow. 6 of Wands. Really coming out of this. 6 of Wands is feeling like rising to the occasion and triumphing. The Tower brought conflict with it. Yeah. So something showed up and was like, now I'm in your face and you have to deal with me. And it could have, this could have been something that startled you psychologically, impacted you psychologically. And so, all right, conflict is associated with Page of Wands. This can be needing to organize what you're doing with your energy. It can be organizing how you're doing something, how you're tending to something, the way that you are pursuing a path, like the way that you're walking upon it, the way that you're showing up, what's motivating you to be there, those types of things. Anything else that this has to do with? How you're applying yourself. I'm seeing when this happened, it could have felt confusing. Like, where do I even start? Like, what do I do with this here? Like, you could have spent time making a plan, figuring out what steps to take, or you're in the process of doing that. I'm seeing you not backing down. Okay. I wasn't expecting this, and like naturally you don't always see this when the Tower comes out, but what I'm seeing happen is it looks like you had a situation going on, okay? The Tower happened and it could have felt abrupt. It could have felt like now you have to deal with something. You have no choice. It felt like very in your face the way that this happened. But what I'm seeing the outcome be that's associated with this is you actually being stronger in your resolve here, which maybe you weren't before. So the Tower, right? It comes out and you see it's like Tower is like a wand, and see how the lightning strikes here, so then it's like the wand is on fire, and I'm seeing that be like this is what we start with and this is what we end with, and see how they're connected with one another. Like this is a wand because it's a tree, right? Like wood, and then you see it be on fire here, and then this is like all that remains. But this card is about like standing strong within something, and it's about like authenticity, and it's about like not backing down, like defending what you believe in, like that type of thing, like a resolve, okay? So maybe before this is something that like you got stronger in your beliefs or stronger in your resolve, or like this made you be more determined because maybe you weren't feeling very determined before. Maybe you didn't have to be. So the severity of this situation made you have to like really show up in more of an intense way. So maybe there was a lack of intensity before that this brought, where you can feel like now I'm really fighting for something, or like now I really have something to do here, you know, like that type of thing. That's what this is feeling like. And initially it could have felt like very chaotic energetically and mentally, but then I'm seeing the Four of Swords, which means that now there can be peace about this, which would mean that the struggle is slowly evening back out. Even though I'm still seeing things look pretty intense because I'm seeing 10 of Wands. So you can be like, what are you talking about? I'm still stressed out over here. But it seems like this could have been something that like motivated you a bit more. Like, again, could have made you more determined, could have lit a fire underneath you in a way that maybe there wasn't really a fire there before. And now you're like, do or die in this situation, like that type of thing. I'm seeing because of the specific like moves that you choose as you walk through this, that's why you get to like move forward. That's why you're moving on. That's why things are calming down, so you can really thank yourself here for what you've done. Conflict appearing on the path, you having to show up and handle this, things calming down now. When this tower hit, this could have brought up a bunch of stuff psychologically for you. It's like digging up a bunch of stuff. It can bring up subconscious stuff that's going on, things that really like mess with you mentally, stuff that you're worried about, can't stop thinking about it, you know, like it made things very, very intense is what I'm getting from this more than anything. So you were called to action. This would have triggered your Mars energy with the tower here. So it's like, how are you going to problem solve? Like, what are you going to do here? When you're faced with some type of issue, like who shows up and takes care of that? Like what part of you? And so I'm seeing this part of you like come out and have to like do the whole thing and address the whole thing. And I'm seeing that things are going to settle down now. So whatever you did, it worked. Things are definitely going to be getting better from here on out. I'm seeing you move forward. Things are calming down. This isn't like I'm moving forward and the intensity is going to stay this way. Things are going to start calming down if they have not already. And it feels too like even though you may be feeling more motivated or like more involved in this process now, from a mental space, it feels like this actually addressed some type of mental conflict that you had been experiencing, that maybe you weren't feeling a type of internal peace before. There could have been something that felt unsettling, and this actually allowed you to address that. But it seems like even in some sort of outward way, like you could have internally been feeling like that, and this outward situation happened, and now it's bringing back that rebalancing internally. I will say this, like some of you, you're not totally finished with the cycle yet, but I'm seeing you be like on the edge of completion. So I'm seeing you be very close to this being finished, but it can still be feeling kind of intense. But you would know that you're like right up at the end of this. That would be the feeling anyway. I'm seeing Seven of Swords pop out. I feel like the Seven of Swords has been coming up a lot, but what that means when I'm seeing this a bunch in readings is that it means collectively anything that's happening in like an underhanded way, or anything that's happening that there's like not full awareness of it, those things are coming to light. So it's like first we have to shine the flashlight on it before we do what we need to do with it, like clear it out. So this can be those types of things that are coming to light here. Something where there wasn't like full awareness of something. Yeah, it looks like some old patterns or some old habits that are being addressed here, but these can be ones that you feel like aren't the most helpful. Like it can be times when you do things where if you're trying to do certain things, like have certain goals or manifest certain things, there may be some subconscious stuff that was happening that you were doing or allowing, like that type of thing, that could have pulled you in the opposite direction. So it feels like becoming aware of that. Because what I'm seeing is 7 of Swords and 4 of Pentacles. And that can be like anything that you do to undermine what allows you to feel stable or what allows you to feel grounded and fulfilled. Both of those things, because also 10 of Cups is here. So this isn't just like, yeah, it looks good on paper, but I don't really care about it. This is something in your life that has both the like external and internal qualities that feel basic and important to you. That can even feel like stuff that some of you, this is stuff that maybe you didn't have in the past. I'm seeing 6 of Cups come up here. I wonder how this places out within this. Maybe it's about being fully present now. Not just being present to what was, but where you are right now. I want to pull a couple more cards and see. This can also be too that sometimes we get so stuck in our ways with something where it may not be effective for us anymore and we may not be growing anymore, but it's like, I'm just going to keep doing things in this way, but then you feel stagnant because of it, but then are like not doing anything about it. And this situation could have popped up and been like, well, now you have no other choice, you know, like that type of thing. But it would have like reawakened something within you is the point of this. Something that could have felt long forgotten. Yeah, you could have even been feeling like complacent in some way, is what this looks like. But it may have been something that you didn't necessarily want to address, but maybe you also didn't know how. That can be the thing too. So things sort of need to play out to put you in a position where you sort of have to climb your way out of it. Yeah, I feel like this mundane type of feeling where like that could have been the vibe before this situation happened. You could have been feeling very medium about things, you know, like certain stuff not really resonating with you. And also, too, stuff that normally you would be like, wow, this is important to me, you could have started like not caring about. Like certain stuff that after going through this situation, you can be like, wow, this holds so much value and I recognize that. Before, it seems like what happened was that there was almost like a getting so used to certain things that you almost stop seeing the value in it. You guys know what I'm talking about? When you're in a situation that, like, when you don't have it, you're like, wow, this is so important. And when you do have it and you're in a place to be present with it, you recognize the importance and the value of it. But sometimes we get used to those things and then it kind of seems like something may have challenged that, threatened that, pulled it away, something like that. And then you're like, oh no, this thing that I care about, but I wasn't treating it like I cared about it. It can be like that type of thing that happens. It's like a reminder that like this is something important to you, this is something valuable to you. I think also too that it's about, I want to break this down as far as what I'm seeing, but it's kind of it can be a little bit difficult to articulate this type of energy. So let me try to summarize here. When you're in the energy of the Queen of Cups, you can feel like only sometimes emotional matter to you, right? When you're like leaning very far into that and not into your other energies. So it can be like, I want to be places where I feel emotionally connected, or I only want to do things that inspire me or that get like an emotional arousal out of me, like those types of things, or that like bring me peace, you know, or like think where I am, where I feel connected. And those things are all important, but you could have neglected something physically around you, because I'm seeing 4 of Pentacles. So this is stuff that would feel grounding to you in a physical way, like stable to you. And because of putting all the focus on something internally and neglecting this other part of you that I imagine would be like the Queen of Pentacles, it almost got like forgotten within everything. And so it was like not showing up in the way that one is supposed to for those things that like you would know if you would check in that this is something that matters to you. But because of where you had gotten to, your vision could have been blurred because of overemphasizing something else. Because it's not about like being one of the energies over the other. It's about making sure that you're tending to all of them. It's about integrating all of the energies. So I feel like one of the energies got a bit carried away in a way where having Seven of Swords be there it can be becoming ungrounded, or it can start turning into a bit of a shadow energy. Shadow doesn't mean bad. Shadow means like there's not a sense of clarity to it that we need in order for it to function properly, and also recognize its place within the system of all your other energies. And so because of that, because of like being off track, and it can be something slight, something subtle. It doesn't have to be you doing anything crazy. It can just be like, I'm so focused on this over here that I'm not seeing that other thing over there. So we sort of forget about that other piece. And what I'm seeing happen is that in sort of the forgetting that this other thing mattered, there could have been like, I don't even really care about that. I just care about this other thing. But that's not truly like the genuine feelings about it. And it took this situation to sort of remind one of this. And then it's like, oh, this does make me happy. Oh, I do care about that. Oh, I do need this, you know? And it feels like something very basic too. So this can be something that, like, not anything extravagant. Like, Four of Pentacles is just like the basic necessities of your earth energy. So it can be like, it can be the food that you eat, like it can be diet, it can be anything having to do with your body, it can have anything having to do with your job or your finances, anything having to do with your home life, anything having to do with your personal relationships. It's just like your basic needs on that level. Like on the bottom of Maslow's hierarchy, just those basic things that you would need within your earth element. So now what I'm seeing is moving into a place where it feels like you're re-inspired and also ready to do what needs to be done here. And it could feel like an old feeling to you of, I remember when I felt like this before, and this situation sort of allowed you to reimagine this feeling. This would be a good type of feeling. Like being inspired, losing the inspiration, finding the inspiration again, and being like, I love this feeling, like that type of thing. Seems like this also increased your problem-solving skills and emphasized your discernment. This could have also been an exercise in discernment. I'm wondering too if some of you, like, Seven of Swords can sometimes be us listening to another person when they're not like fully, what's the best way to say this? You know when somebody gives you advice but it's not good advice, but it can be like well-intended bad advice? Something along those lines could have happened for some of you if another person was involved in this. And this is like an exercise in using your discernment, meaning maybe somebody said something to you and it didn't necessarily add up, but there could have been this part of you that was like, la 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 la, because I'm seeing Queen of Cups here. So that's somebody that's like, I'm just going to believe it because I want to, but then not check in with all my other energies and be like, are they in agreement too? When I say your other energies, I mean like your other elemental energies. I'm just seeing Queen of Cups here. So this can be like emotionally, I want to tune into this and listen to it, but I'm not going to use my logic here, or I'm not going to use my rationale, or I'm not going to think about like my physical needs. and then find yourself in a situation where you end up feeling like this is sabotaging those things, or like you're not seeing that clearly. So whether this was something going on like within a closed process, like you with yourself, or there was someone that felt like they had some type of influential energy on you, but it wasn't something that was coming from a space of light. Again, light not meaning good, I mean clarity, I mean awareness. Somebody may have like accidentally, like not on purpose, been like even preaching something or whatever. Things can also be misinterpreted too. But with Seven of Swords, there can be a shadow energy that's involved in something. And having Queen of Swords over here in Strength is feeling like being able to read that and being able to understand that and pick that up, even when there's another part of you that's like, I want to believe in the fantasy of that. This is about also using your discernment and being logical too. And recognizing the strength within that in a balanced way, balanced with all of the other elements. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.